Prince Philip's Land Rover collided with a Kia carrying 2 women and a 9-month-old baby near the Queen's Sandringham estate last Thursday. The Duke's car flipped onto its side as he pulled out onto the A149, with the 97-year-old later claiming the sun had been in his eyes. Just 48 hours later, he was pictured driving in a new Land Rover but without a seatbelt, sparking fury and a warning from Norfolk police. Crash victim Emma Fairweather, 46, who suffered a broken wrist in the horror smash, hit out at the Duke, saying she is lucky to be alive. Ms. Fairweather claims she and the 28-year-old driver in the Kia, who also required hospital treatment, have not had a direct apology from the Prince. Following the accident, Buckingham Palace initially said the parties had been contacted privately and well wishes exchanged. But Ms. Fairweather disputes the claims and is now demanding action from the royal family. Should Duke issue public apology? Is his reputation damaged? Royal expert James Brooks says it is too early for the Duke to apologize while the police investigation is ongoing, as it would assume his guilt automatically. But the Royal Central Communications Director added, if it does come out the Prince was at fault, then we will expect an apology. We will expect something from the palace. According to Mr. Brooks, the real damage to the Duke's reputation was caused after he was pictured driving without a seatbelt 48 hours later. You cannot have something that serious and not have something said. The royal correspondent said, if he is driving anywhere, he should be wearing a seatbelt. The law is black and white about that and he should follow it. He added, trying to get him to understand the magnitude of what has happened was another matter, however. You cannot have something that serious and not have something said, James Brooks. Mr. Brooks said, everyone knows the Duke is a strong-willed gent and people have actually admired that about him in the past. But when something like this happens and it affects other people's lives or health, it becomes much more serious. There have been calls for close relatives to have a quiet word with the Duke and encourage him to step down from driving as he nears to being a century old. But Mr. Brooks said while most of us would have trouble telling elderly relatives to quit driving when the time is right, Philip, being the type of person he is, makes it 10 times harder. He added, but if something like this happens again, it would be the last straw and he would have to hang up his keys for good. The Duke's brazen recklessness when it comes to not wearing a seatbelt is even more unnerving considering the royal family's poignant history. Philip's great-grandchildren Prince William and Prince Harry lost their mother Princess Diana after she was killed in a car crash in Paris in 1997. The princess, who was being pursued by the paparazzi at high speed, was not wearing a seatbelt at the time despite being a staunch supporter of road safety. Mr. Brooks said, the only time ironically Diana was not wearing a seatbelt was when she died. This should be something that is in the forefront of the royal family's minds when they drive.